Hello everyone, so today I'll be showing you how to use a ready to teach template or lesson on Canva. So once you open your Canva app, you are going to go over to templates. On the left scroll bar, go over to templates. Under templates, you will see all browse by category and every other thing you need to use, or every other template that you can find. But for the purpose of this tutorial, we are going to go over to education. We click on education and we see subject, year and resource type. We are going to choose science subjects. We click on science, and once it's loaded, you will see ready to teach lesson. So depending on the class, you can choose your class. You can say subject, year or resource type. So it can be grade. If your own is not showing year and it's showing grade, we are still saying the same thing. So we have ready to teach templates over here. For science, we see or choose any of the options. For this tutorial, let's use the life cycle of humans and animals. We click on that. Once we click on a template, you will see the items under it, 5 items under it, which are all explained here. It's a year 3 science, which is grade 3 for if yours is showing grade. All right, so this is the lesson objective. The reason it is called ready to teach is because you can pick it like this and use it immediately if this is a topic in your own subject. If it's not, you can modify it, and it saves you time preparing for your class. So these are the resources under it. You can use them individually, or you can delete the ones you don't need. All right, so what we are going to do is click on use this lesson. Once you click on use this lesson, the lesson will save to folder and it will open under projects. What this simply means is that you will never lose the work you are doing on Canva because it's saved on projects. You always have something to reference back. Now these are the activities and the description under this topic that we've chosen. So what we are doing is, we are going to filter this, because not every time you use every single thing on a template. Sometimes the activity written there is not relevant to the class you are teaching. So what you want to do is to filter by deleting it. So you click on these 3 dots on the right corner of your screen, and you will see move to trash. Click on move to trash to move that particular activity that is not relevant to your class to the trash can. So it means to simply delete. If you are not using it, click on it to delete. So once you have chosen the resource, you look at here, you see activity experience. Use this arrow button, click on the toggle down and see what it means. Means that students will walk through this material but will not get their own copy. So if it's a material, this is the lesson notes that the teacher uses. When you come to your class, when you are teaching, you don't give your students your lesson notes, you give them the lesson. So they are to take the lessons from the lesson note. This resource is your resource. But if it's an activity which is a classwork assessment, you can use it as solo course. What this means is that students will do their own copy and share it back with you, because once they do assignments, they are expected to share it back. All right, so now what we are going to do, we are going to start with modifying this topic. We are going to click on this presentation so that we can work on it. Once you click on presentation, it opens you up to the workspace. So this workspace is what gives you the flexibility to edit your slides. So if it's a topic that is not your topic, for example, you are teaching mathematics and you like the template but you want to change some things, so you can now start modifying each slide here to fit the class that you are teaching. All right, so for this first page, I'm going to do a simple edit, which is to remove this image here, because I am teaching this particular tutorial from Nigeria. All right, and this image is not culturally relevant to our reality. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete it. And what am I deleting? Is the image alone. It shows that this image came in a frame. This is what we call a frame. That means any image will fit. It's just like you have a frame for your picture on the wall. The picture is inside the frame. So that's what happens here too. So this square box that is highlighted means a frame. So because I've deleted this image, I want to replace it. What do? I go to elements. Element is like a house where you have everything you need for work. It's like a toolkit that gives you every single thing you need for designing any slide. So we are going to search for African newborn baby. African newborn baby. African newborn baby. Alright, so you see photos, graphic, visual, video, audio. That means this element you want to use. How do you want to use it? Do you want it as picture or graphic or video? For this particular slide, we want it as a photo. So we click on see all, and you see many images. Now because this is my first page, let me use a family image. Let me use this one. This is a beautiful family that has father, mother and children, showing also the different stages of life. Okay, so what we want to do is to drag this image. Click on done here. We want to drag this image over this frame here, dragging this image here over the frame here. By doing that, you put this picture in a frame. You put the picture in a frame. So this is the only edit we are doing on this page. On the second page also, we are going to do something similar because the image here is not culturally relevant as well. So we are going to choose another image that fits the peculiarity of our immediate environment. Okay, so we can say let's use something. Okay, now the same thing, you drag it over. Now if you notice and you want to make some adjustment to this image here, just double click on the image so that you can adjust the position of the image. All right, so if you check your lesson notes or your lesson plan and you have a set induction that you want to use, or there's something you already prepared, this is where you now start modifying. So maybe the question you want to ask to introduce this topic is not this question. Let's say it's mention the things that have life. Okay, you can change it to mention things that have life. So because it's set induction, you are going to ask the students this question and you allow them to make their responses. Okay, mention things that have life, and you can, if you don't need any of these options, you can delete anything you don't need by just clicking on it and using this delete button. So let me show you all this. This one is, see, this one that has a small plus is duplicate. This one is lock. Lock position means that if anything you do on that place that you locked, the image will not move. Every other thing can move but that image. But for now we are deleting this option because we don't need it. So we say mention things that have life, and you know, if you want to buttress your point, you can say what can you do that they can't. So you allow your students to make their responses and contribution. So this is for slide 2. We move over to slide 3, and because based on their responses, you now introduce your topic. Today we learn about what life cycle means. Okay, the life cycle of human, common stages and the rest. So if this is relevant to you, leave it. If the image is not relevant, delete it and replace. Okay, you can use any of the images under here to replace that. Okay, and you notice this shape is a portrait shape. mode, and this here is also portrait, but we have 2 squares. So how do we minimize this image so that it fits into this box? What we are going to do, look at these white points here. Each point at the edges, this circle dots means pointers. You can use it to minimize. You can click on the edge of it to expand. The ones on the side is to expand its width. So you can click on it to zoom in and to zoom out. Alright, so because we want it over here and we don't want it to overshadow, what we want to do is to click on the points at the edges. Click on the points on the edges and then make it wide. Okay, you will click on the points on the edges and then make it wide, and then adjust it by dragging it over to fit. So the same way with the image beneath, we are going to delete it and use one that is also culturally relevant. Okay, you can just click on this 4 points at the end. Immediately you click on it, you see that it changes to another color. You adjust it and move it over here, expand it to fit what you are doing. So you can double click on this image to adjust it if you want a particular position. Is that okay? So this is for slide 3. So another thing to show you is to change the background. To change the background, which is green in color, you look over here, you see options. Highlight this one that has the same color here. You see background color. Means that you can change by clicking on it to change. Now you see this option that comes up sometimes, which is change all. What this means is any slide that has this green will automatically change to the new color that you've adopted. So if I click on change all, you will see that all the slides here have changed to red. Initially they were on green, but because I clicked on change all, it moved it to red. Okay, so if this is what you want, you adopt it. If this is not what you want and you want only this particular page to be red, you just leave it at the page you want. Okay, so another thing to note is that the text color can change. If you want this part to also be changed in color, what you can do is to select it and go over here to change the text color. So if you want the text color to be green, you leave it at green. So this is just to tell you that everything on this page you can edit it. If you don't like this butterfly, you delete it and go to elements and search for butterfly so that you can replace it. So everything on Canva can be replaced. Okay, so let's choose this particular butterfly. I think it's better. So you can choose more beautiful butterflies and use. This is just the point of this particular line that I'm showing you. So another thing I want to point your attention to is this option, this grid view. Over here you have all the options for text, brand, upload. Upload means if you have a picture already that you want to use, you can collect it from your gallery and put it on Canva and use it. But I want to bring your attention to this grid view. This grid view gives you an overview of all the slides in the presentation that you are working with. We notice that this presentation has 16 slides. When you are teaching your lesson, it's not a must that you use the 16 slides. So you use the number of slides that is relevant to your class. If it's only 10 slides that fit your own topic for that day, choose only 10 slides. But how do we delete the ones that is not relevant? Okay, let's say we are choosing the first 5 and the rest of the 5 is not important to us. We are going to click on the first number 6. There are 2 ways to do this. Click on number 6 and click on this toggle button here, these 3 dots. You will see delete page. So you can do that one after the other and delete page. But is there a faster way to do that? Yes. So you can click on number 6, okay, and click on select. Click on select to select all, and you can deselect the ones you don't need. If you are using a tablet or a smartphone, you may not see this option like this. You may see something that looks like this that has a tick in front of it. So this is also your way to mimic that. You can highlight that tick box and then take the parts you don't want and delete them. But because I'm using a laptop, I'm using my shift key to select the first one. I'm holding this. I selected the first image, held down my shift key, and I'm moving to the last to highlight all that I don't need. And I'm going to click on this delete button on my backspace. You see delete 10 pages. So I'm assuming that my lesson now we only use 5 slides. I don't need 15, so that you don't pack irrelevant materials on your presentation. Okay, so these are the 3 things that we've done. Let's say at the end of the class you want to add a new slide. Let's go back to what we are doing. So there are two ways to do that. You can add a page here. Immediately you add it, it takes the initial color of the last page, which is green. Okay, so once we have a blank page, you can use it for anything you want, or you can use it for your thank you for listening. So if you are done with your session, you can find a thank you page. You can either write thank you manually, choose a heading, go to text, choose a heading here, type thank you, then expand your thank you, put it in the middle. Always remember alignment. You will see invisible lines when you are going off track. Always remember alignment to align your text. You can choose a font. Also, it is important to note that Canva has free and paid version. If you are using the free version, you should be looking out for that there's a tiny crown at the edge of anyone that is premium. You will see this crown. If it's gold in color, that means you have to pay before you use it. But if you are using the freemium or the free version of Canva, look for the images or elements that don't have this crown. Okay, so if you select them, that means you can use them for free at no cost. So it is important to note. So I'm choosing a font, let's say a calligraph or a handwriting, so that I can make my thank you look better. Choose a font that is free also. Okay, so let's use a less brush. I think this works. So to beautify my thank you page, maybe thank you for your attention, thank you for listening, I've written the thank you with this text tool. I can add elements and maybe add let me search for thank you here to see what we have. So you can even use this image. But before we go to the image part, let's see what we can modify from here. Okay, we can use this image of someone bowing down. Okay, we can adjust it, and then we'll put our thank you by the side. So thank you for the lesson. So this is how you can portray that. It shows. Okay, so let's assume that you have finished putting everything you need on your slide. How do you export it? But before we export it, let's view our slide from start to finish. We click on this expand to present it in full screen. After the grid view, you will see this option of 2 arrows. Click on it to expand your presentation. So I'm going to put my cursor on the first one, which is my first page, and I'm going to click on this arrow to expand my presentation. Okay, this is my presentation on my topic, life cycle of human and animals. So I'm going to move from slide 1, introduction, and then I ask my students, mention things that have life. So I'm assuming that I'm in the class right now doing my lesson, asking my students mention things that have life and give them opportunity to make their answers. Once they are done, go to the next slide by clicking the arrow button and say introduce them to the topic. Today we will learn about life cycle and the rest. What is life cycle? You go into your lesson, you give them the stages, and then if that is the end of your class, you say thank you. But there are shortcuts in Canva that I want to show you how to do. So when you are done with a lesson, or when someone answers, let's go back to this point, and someone makes a good attempt to make your lesson interactive, you can use a drum. The shortcut is D. The shortcut is D. Okay? Another thing you can do is throw a confetti. If somebody made a good, you asked a question and somebody made a good response, you can use a confetti. Alright? So to see all the shortcuts, you click on K. The shortcut is on, if you're using a laptop, this is K. But if you are not using a laptop, on your phone, on your tablet, you will see something that looks like a keyboard by the downside of your screen. Look over here, it looks like a keyboard. So if you click on it, you see your magic shortcuts. So the shortcut for block is B. So if you don't want them to see what is on the screen yet, you can click on B to dim the screen. So you can, if they are making noise, you can click on Q. Okay, so if you want to make it interesting, you can click on O for bubbles to pop. So if they answer correct answer, you can use confetti, and if you click it many times, it comes out from different sides. So if you want to do a drum, the answer was so good, you want to use a drum roll, and you want to do a mic drop. Beautiful. So at the end of your lesson, okay, let's say you are done, you can use U to draw a curtain to the close. So this also happens when you are using together. So let's say you are at the end of your class and you have said thank you for your time. You click on the shortcut and the curtain is closed. Alright, so this is just the shortcuts that I wanted to show you. And then how do we export? We are done with our lesson. Remember, every other thing is here. Your lesson notes, which is this presentation. This is the solo resource work. Now for that, you can engage them. You can tell them to do this. You can print it out and allow them to be creative, and the rest. So it can be a take-home assignment for the students, and also you give them something to work on. So once we are done, today we are only working on the presentation type, and we are going to assume that we are finished. We have 5 slides. Your own can be 6, it can be 10. But once you are done, how do you export? You click on share. Click on share. Once you click on share, you will see all these options. Where we are going is this one that has download. The arrow button, download. Click on that. Once you click on download, you will see file type. File type. Canva will always give you the best suggestion for the temp or type to save your work as. But depending on what you need it for, you can choose what you want. So for this one, we are going to go down this cursor button here, this arrow button, and we are going to save this as a PowerPoint presentation. Okay, we are going to save our presentation as PowerPoint. So we are assuming that we did a full lesson note. We are saving it as PowerPoint so that we can always use it and reuse it anytime we have this topic to teach. we can just bring it out and go ahead. So now we have 6 pages and we need all these 6 pages, and we are going to click on done. So what this means is from page 1 to page 6 will be saved. Once you are done, click on download. You will see that your work is downloading over here. After that, I will show you how we can access it. Okay, now your PowerPoint is downloading, so you wait for it to download as PowerPoint presentation. Another thing can happen. Maybe we want only one page out of this present. We don't want all the pages, you just want to use one. Let's say that assessment, you want to use only one at the moment. Let's say we just want to use the first page. We don't want all of them. What are we going to do? We are going to still click on share. We are going to click on download. We are going to go over to this option of file type, but what we are choosing is PNG. It saves our image, and we are going to go to select pages and select current page, the page you want to download. Click on done and click on download. So where do you find your work? If you are using a tablet or your phone, go to your gallery. If you are using a laptop, go to download. You will see your most recent work. So if you are using your phone and you've edited on Canva, what do? You go to gallery. If you are using a tablet, you go to your gallery, your photos, so that you can view your recent work. So this is my recent image downloaded as picture. So I can easily use this picture or send this picture to my students for them to use. So this is my PowerPoint presentation. So I'm going to open my presentation now. So we are no longer in Canva. We now have this as a resource. We can go somewhere. We can now send this to our phones and then get ready for any class without designing from scratch. What we are doing, from current slide, we made the presentation move, and then so this is your work as a teacher. You've done it, and then thank you. So your presentation is ready. I hope this tutorial helps you, and I hope it makes your work easy. You can ask your questions in the comment section. Feel free to explore. Feel free to explore all the options. Always remember that if you're using the free version, use only the ones that don't have the crown, the gold crown, so that you don't have the issue when it comes to exporting. Hope this tutorial helps you. Thank you for listening. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and put on your notification button so that when new tutorials come up, you'll be the first to know. Thank you so much for your time.